All right, well, the props on how long this series will go does seem to favor a 6-game series, minus 137. Nick, does that seem right to you, or do you like another number?
Man, after what we saw last night, I just Giannis needs to look a lot better. Obviously, I think based on the expectations going into last night, he looked fine, but they need more from him. Health wise, obviously, he needs to be a little bit more aggressive for me to feel better about Milwaukee's chances to extend this to 6. I think it sounds like we're all in agreement that they're in big trouble heading into game 2 tomorrow. The series is pretty likely to be 0-2 heading back to Milwaukee for game 3 on Sunday. And then, Milwaukee's in essentially a must-win situation for game 3. And that one to me would probably also be a toss-up. So, on the DK Sportsbook, you can get Suns in 5 at plus 275. I don't hate that. But Suns in 6 at plus 425, pretty solid value as well. I think Suns in 5 or Suns in 6 is where I'm leaning right now.
Jules, where are you leaning?
Yeah, so I mean the prop, I guess, is over 5.5 games at minus 137. So just will this go to 6 or 7 to cash you? I would lean yes. Like as bad as that was last night, like the Bucks should still be able to get a couple of games here and make this a series. But if we're all so confident in the Suns, I think maybe a way to just bet the series is Suns minus a game and a half at minus 160-ish, minus 167. So you get the Suns in 4, 5, or 6 games. Only way you don't win it is if it goes to 7 or Milwaukee comes all the way back. I think that's my favorite series bet over just betting on the amount of games in the series.
All right, Kenny, what's your take?
Yeah, I mean, I would take the over 5.5 games at minus 137. I think it's a pretty good price on the Bucks to win a couple. Look, here's the thing about the Phoenix Suns. We did just gloat, right? We did just wax poetic about how good this team is. But it's easy to forget because of the last 2 games, right? How bad this team was against the Clippers. I know the Clippers are a much better team. They have a much better coach than the Milwaukee Bucks, but they fell victim to just kind of falling into that lull, right? They went up 1-0 with Devin Booker, just leading the way. He had a great game. That was the big reason they won game 1. And then game 2, they got lucky with those missed free throws. They managed to hold on. And then with the 2-0 lead, they just kind of sat back and they lost game 3. They played a terrible game 4, one of the worst games we've seen from both teams, it really all postseason. And then they managed to pull it out here. Game 5, in game 6, they really just played a great game. So the last 2 games, game 6 and game 1 of this NBA Finals, they've been great. But before that, leading up to that point, they were pretty bad. So I think that they could fall into the same sort of lull. I mean, it's very easy to see, another bad night for Chris Paul on the horizon, or like a GOAT night for Giannis. So I think that the Bucks here will probably get a couple games in this series. They could even get one on the road. And I think that the over 5.5 is a pretty decent bet. I'm not ready to say Suns in 4 like everyone in Phoenix. I'm ready for what are they going to do when the Suns lose the game? Are they going to start doing this in the crowd? We saw a lot of these, but I don't know.